You
Like
pull up the
what?
list. I got the numbers in front of me right here. The Dodgers are paying. Granted, it's a lot of money. Dodgers are paying about what looks like. I want to say the luxury tax figure is about $400 million, right? Let's say a potential salary cap is 250 million dollars. So we'll say 400 minus 250. That's $150 million the Dodgers are over the cap if they decide to implement that. Granted, you can't force teams to. There's going to be some sort of grace period. There's going to be some sort of grandfathering in system. So it's not like the Dodgers are going to have to cut bait with everybody, but let's just do an exercise for fun. Let's do an exercise on how much the Dodgers are over the cap and, you know, who they would have to get rid of or who they could get rid of to shed the cap. And then let's take a look at how hamstrung they really are. For those of you that want to say the Dodgers are cooked if there's a salary cap, they can't win without overspending. Okay, cool. Let's do an exercise. Okay. So this is the salary cap, the salary tax numbers. Um, we'll just start cutting contracts that the Dodgers could totally live without. Number one, Tanner Scott and his, over $16 million a year contract. He was not a factor in them winning the World Series whatsoever. He did not play a pivotal, integral role at all in the team. Okay, so
He
that's
didn't have a single
150
pitch.
million dollars. Yeah, he didn't do anything. We'll take $16 million away. Okay, get you to 134. Edwin Diaz, they just signed him. He's great. He's awesome. You don't need to sign bullpen pieces to win championships.
If there was a salary cap, they probably wouldn't have signed Edwin Diaz. I think it's kind of plain as simple as that. And I mean, they didn't even. They have enough pitching in that roster and farm system to they could have found a solution.
Yeah, you can find a starter to do it. That's $21 million.
Hey, remember, they have the number one farm system.
I know people
We'll
like to
get to
deny
that,
that and say,
but
yeah, well, we can get into that all day long. People deny it. Caber Ruiz didn't work out well. That's what happens when you develop at the Nationals instead of the Dodgers. Simple as that. Point being, you don't need Edwin Diaz to win. They already did it. Tommy Edman, dude's hurt all the time. I know he was Tommy Tanks against the Mets, who were going to lose the NLCS anyways. You could take his $13 million contract off the books. Okay, that's 113. We've already gotten down to 100 million. So that's $50 million in payroll that virtually is not harming them. Blake Trinan, complete non-factor in the World Series, actually was a detriment to the team. It's $11 million you could shed right there. Okay, now we're under $100 million. Where else? Where else on the roster can you shed? Look, I love the guy. They probably don't re-sign him in a salary cap, or they could move
Teoscar.
him. You could shed the $20 million you're paying to Teoscar. You could. You could shed the
with how good your outfield farm system is, yeah,
It's
you
not a
could.
need. You've got a guy who can't field. You could put him. You could put him in the outfield. Again, yeah, you can call up Josue De Paula anytime and get that kind of production. No offense to the guy, it's not a need. It's not a need. So this has us in a really interesting spot. So the Dodgers are at $69 million over the cap. They just added $57 million in cap space to give to Kyle Tucker. But you don't necessarily need to get rid of him. So this is where it gets interesting. They have a great starting pitching rotation, but they have guys coming back. So you could theoretically get rid of a Tyler Glasnow. I love him. He's awesome. But you've got Snell, Yamamoto, Otani. You've got all those guys. You've got River Ryan and Gavin Stone coming back.
And Rocky's
Tyler
still
Glasnow,
on. Rocky's being paid like $5 million a year, so that's not a
Roki
problem.
Sasaki's dude. Roki Sasaki's getting paid $820,000. He's getting paid nothing. He wanted to come play in
Jeez.
LA. He wanted to play for the Dodgers. But the Dodgers can do what they've done before. You don't need Glasnow. You can go out and trade for an expiring contract during the season. We'll get rid of Tyler Glasnow's $27 million. We are $42 million. $42 million now. And now you take your pick of what you want to do. If you get rid of the Kyle Tucker signing, cool, now you're $15 million over. But, just for the sake of the argument, how do you want to get rid of that other $42 million? Well, with all
Uh,
respect, Kike Hernandez and Miguel Rojas could be cap casualties. That gets you down to under $30 million. The point being, in all this, is the Dodgers could totally cut under to that. They could totally cut under. And you know who's still on the roster that we did not get rid of? Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu
Big
Yamamoto,
Willie,
Big Willie, Mookie Betts,
Mookie,
Freddie
Freddie.
Freeman. Max Muncy. Technically, you wouldn't have to give up Kyle Tucker. You could actually have him if you just move some money around, move some pieces around. The point being, guys,
The Caps, but
I don't know what this fantasy world is where the Dodgers suddenly can't spend any money. By the way, a $240 million salary cap's pretty low. I don't think it would be that low in practice. I think more like $275 million. The Dodgers could keep almost everybody that matters on that team. So what's your argument then?
you know what? You touched base on this the other day. I hope the Dodgers win with a salary cap just so we can see what people say.